He's a bitter man.
Start applauding and let the wave of love push its way through here as we bring on Mr. Dave Tomlinson!
Hello. There's this bloke in Stoke-on-Trent. I am from Stoke-on-Trent. Some of you may know that. I actually live in a small village that backs onto a monkey forest in Stoke-on-Trent. And people often ask me, well, aren't you concerned the monkeys might escape and run amok in your village? Well, to be honest, I think the monkeys want to be more concerned in case the villagers escape and run amok in their forest. I'll give you an example of what I mean by that. In the early 1970s, there was a location scout for the movie The Wicker Man, and he visited the village to see if it was a suitable location for his movie. So he set up a meeting with all the village elders in the village hall, and they ate him. It's not entirely true, though. They fucked him first. I mean, they've got the protocols. So anyway, there's this bloke in Stoke-on-Trent. I don't know why I'm doing that. Pigeon Man, they call him. Now I thought here, rather than do my full Pigeon Man routine, I thought I might just explain to you how I normally do a routine about this bloke in Stoke they call Pigeon Man. But when I wrote it down, the explanation was actually longer than the routine itself. So it wouldn't make sense, would it, to do the explanation instead of the routine? Especially if you take into account this bit I'm currently doing. Describing how the explanation is longer than the routine. This bit is even longer than the explanation and routine combined. So it'd be ridiculous to even contemplate such a thing. So I'll just do the actual routine, save us all a bit of time. So there's this bloke in Stoke-on-Trent, Pigeon Man they call him, and he sits on this bench in the middle of town, gets out his bag of seed, and he feeds the birds and they come and land on him. It's quite a spectacle. Well, that's not why they call him Pigeon Man. He got the name Pigeon Man when he was caught taking a shit on somebody's car. But I only found out about that bit the day after I lent him my car. Well, that's not actually as bad as it sounds, though, because it wasn't really my car. It was my mate Mickey's. Mickey Two Eyes, we call him. He's got two eyes. Seemed appropriate, maybe not. Now, the first time I did this Pigeon Man bit, I was in Chester. Now, Chester's a bit posh and a little bit snobby, I might say. Unless it was just this particular woman who came up to me after the gig, because she said to me, "We don't have pigeons in Chester. Are you sure it wasn't quail, man?" Now contrast that to the time I did it in Blackpool. Because as soon as I started my Pigeon Man routine, there's a woman in the front row, and she piped up with, "I know Pigeon Man," she says. She was from Stoke. But I was going to say, well, what are the chances of there being someone from Stoke in Blackpool? But I'll wager that even at the height of lockdown, that Blackpool was awash with Stokies. And there's two words you'll never hear in the same sentence again. Stokies and awash. And that's okay, I can say it, because I'm from Stoke. I never fucking wash. But it turned out this woman used to be Pigeon Man's mental health nurse. obviously not a very good mental health nurse. She called him Pigeon Man for starters. Rather than his actual name, which I think might be Old Cripple Claw McGraw. Now, the reason I think that might be his name is that some kids were shouting it at him across the park, and he seemed to get quite excited by that. Then again, he was stood in a bush masturbating, so it might just have been a coincidence. Now, whenever I'm in Blackpool, I don't know about you, I like to have a go on the old brothels. I mean, they're all the way down the promenade. I think that's why they call it the Golden Mile. I might be wrong. Now, I know for a fact that all the country's brothels remained open during lockdown. Not because I've visited any, but because every senior politician has a vested interest in the sex trade. Three things will always remain, regardless of circumstances. Arms dealing, drug trafficking, and sex trafficking. Now, I realise that became a bit political then, but as the saying goes, my name's Ben Alton, I'm a cunt. I'm a cunt, not Ben Alton. I don't want to upset Ben Alton, he's a very dangerous man. So anyway, there's this bloke in Chester, Quail Man, they call him. And he sits on this chaise longue in the middle of town, gets out his bag of quinoa, and he feeds the birds, and they come and land on him. It's quite a spectacle. But that's not why they call him Quail Man. He got the name Quail Man when he was shot dead in a field by a group of shotgun-wielding psychopaths wearing tweed. How long have I done? I came across an unconscious man in the street the other day. I don't mean I came across him. I wouldn't do that. I'm not left-handed. It would have taken too long. Is it insensitive to masturbate in front of blind people? Well, you never know. That might be how they went blind in the first place. The last thing they need is you standing there, rubbing it in. I once caught a blind man masturbating. Some people never learn. I've got nothing against blind people, in case you were worried. Well, some of my best friends are wankers. I got into a fight the other day. Oh no, that's not right, is it? It's Fiat. I got into a Fiat. Ed Balls, you'll remember the Labour MP Ed Balls. Well, his wife is a current Labour MP, Yvette Cooper. But she pronounces her name Yvette, which I think answers the question why she didn't take her husband's surname. Well, I reckon Ed Balls would have made a great deputy leader of the Labour Party, but only if Sandwell councillor Heath Alcock was elected as the leader. Who wouldn't vote for Alcock and Balls? It's what you're going to get anyway. But when I heard there was a massive split in the Labour Party, I thought Katie Hopkins had joined them. Well, I was accused of being sexist with that joke once, because Katie Hopkins is a woman, at least nominally. But I'm not a sexist. Well, I can't be sexist, because some of my ex-wives were women. don't know if you've seen Katie Hopkins recently, but she seems to be transforming into Julian Clary. No offence to Julian Clary, I'm not homophobic. Some of my ex-wives were gay. I was at a pool party a couple of summers ago, let's say. But who walked in but Michael Barrymore? I could have died. With excitement. I'll leave you with this joke. I once did a gig at a conference for young farmers. Now, I'd had a bad leg at the time. I pulled a muscle. It was agony. It was quite noticeable. So I thought, I'm going to have to address this issue. So I was standing there, right, in front of all these young farmers. And I said to them, I fucked my calf. I got a standing ovation for that. Anyway, thank you for listening.